you guys, this is Jane. I am a watercolor artist and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time that you're visiting my channel, then hey, I am really glad to have you here, and this is going to be my second published watercolor painting session, and the intention behind this video is that you could join me in painting. Since the painting itself took me over 3 hours to complete, I sped it 5 times, but we still get 24 minutes of the video out of it, and so we can talk and have a coffee together or tea and spend some quality time just enjoying the painting process and maybe even developing some of the skills that in my case were sleeping for a while. I did mention in my last watercolor painting session that I am very unhappy about my current state of drawing and painting skills, and I feel like I'm making tons of mistakes every time I try to sketch, and I have no ideas to execute. And out of the whole process of creating a new painting or an illustration, the one that I love the most is the execution, which is actually the painting process, and creating these watercolor textures is what you are seeing me do in this video. And what I don't enjoy as much is sketching, exploring new ideas, and I do like that stuff, and it is really necessary, to just can't create without it. But I am just so blocked, or I think I just lack faith in myself that I can do better. And it's much harder for me than painting in watercolor itself. So I just thought that I'm gonna stop avoiding this and my sketchbook practice, and so I created a lot of drawings or mini drawings in my sketchbook that I'm not gonna show you because they really don't look very good. But I think that by trying to exploring 3 to 5 ideas per day, I will eventually get to something that will be useful and that I would maybe just improve upon. So I guess all I wanted to say is that I'm trying to get myself better, and that while the situation that we are all in, that we have much more free time on our hands, doesn't have to be all that bad. And I'm really trying to do the best that I can and spend this time doing something that's going to be useful and even benefit me in the future in my artistic endeavors. I am hoping, at least. Maybe some of you had the same idea as me and tried to improve their drawing or painting skills. Maybe you have a home office and art is your hobby, or maybe you're an artist that is trying to get better and use the spare time. So just let me know in the comments how it's actually going for you, and we can support each other. About this painting, I had it sketched for a couple of days, and I even tried to make the drawing better in my iPad and color it and basically prepare the whole painting composition and coloring for it. But I am the worst artist when it comes to preparations and sticking to the sketch that you create, and any sort of plan just falls into pieces when I start to paint, because I am just so used to improvising that I can't stop myself, and I just make impulsive decisions as I go regarding the textures, regarding the colors, and everything that feels right in the moment. I go for it and then either regret it or I'm happy about that. But my preliminary sketch in Procreate, as well as coloring that I did in Procreate, looks completely different than final result that I achieved with my watercolor painting. But still, what I probably enjoyed the most about watercolor is the spontaneity of the medium, and it's very hard for planning. It's very hard to plan the textures and the outcome, because, for example, when using salt or bleeds of one color bleeding to another. It's just very hard to predict what's gonna look like. And even though I do have some wonderful textures and even watercolor pack in Procreate that looks so similar to actual watercolor, it's very hard because the outcome that live paint provides on a paper is just always very different and you can't really plan for it. Sometimes it turns out better, sometimes you discover something new, and that's the beauty of it. But this painting was not 100% important, and I didn't even know if I'm gonna throw it out or just I would publish the video even if I messed it up, because it was just one of those painting sessions that I wanted to do what I feel like it, and just wanted to spend my time painting. And the luxury here is that you don't have to worry about the outcome, because the outcome is always that you're gonna learn something new, and that's the most important thing when having a painting session. If I'm not working on a piece that is supposed to be going to a client or for an exhibition. I was working on 100% cotton paper, but this particular paper, by the way, I can't tell you the brand because it was an in-house brand from some local company from Austria, and I got this paper from a friend just to test it out. So it's nothing, I believe, that is available to purchase. So for me, this was the last sheet of that paper, and in the past I had difficulties with lifting paint. Actually, it wasn't, it was just exactly the opposite. The paint was lifting so easily on this particular paper that I was not able to layer very nicely. But today I didn't feel like I couldn't layer. It's just that I had to use the hairdryer to dry the paint. But once the paint was completely dry, I could layer some new paint on top. So I don't know what happened there, because last time I used this paper I had big troubles with layering, but not this time. I was using some neutral tint to add in my skin tone mix for the shadows of the face, and I did have some very vague reference picture just to see where the shadows and where the lighter parts of the face are. But I still feel like my execution of the face is a bit messy, and there is real consistency missing, and I'm gonna have to create at least 5 more portraits to get out of this rusty zone of painting. But the watercolor textures that I used in the background are another story. This is something that I enjoy very much, and I feel that even beginner can handle this, because it's just salt and water and paint, and you always get such beautiful results, unless you have a really low quality paper that does not allow the salt to crystallize the way it does on a higher quality watercolor paper. And I tried not to go too crazy with the colors, which means that I picked 3 base colors that I just try to stick to, and only use very, very similar colors to these 3, so that I didn't have a picture full of every color on the earth. That always creates a visual mess that I can't stand lately. So the basis of my color composition were red, and then hints of lavender blue, and hints of kind of a yellow green or golden green color that is something between lemon yellow and sap green. And those were the 3 colors. I used some magenta, but just here and there to pop and support the red that I already used in the picture. During the whole painting process, I try to find the best materials for me to use, and that's mostly brushes that I wasn't sure about. I do have a large collection of watercolor brushes, and especially the detail brushes of every size and shape and hair type, but I felt like none of them were quite okay and quite sitting nicely in my hands, so I just grabbed all of them and one by one tested out which one suited me the most for eyelashes, which one suited me the most for shading very tiny details of her face, and eventually found something that worked for me. But I'm gonna leave that for another in-depth video, because I've been wanting to do a watercolor brush tour, or maybe something about watercolor brushes, such as a guide to help you help you pick the best brushes that are suitable for particular watercolor work. But I just need to experiment a little more to consider my knowledge about these brushes complete, and that as I know myself, that will take a while. But for now, in this particular painting, I just try to enjoy the process, reconnect with the medium, and push myself and push the tools that I have at hand, and just experiment, not worrying about the result at all. And I finished it actually 3 hours ago. I feel very happy about the result, but maybe tomorrow I'm not gonna like it anymore. But for now, this is one of my favorite things that I painted. Well, it might not be a great painting, but I did enjoy the process. Okay, I'm feeling a bit rumbly today and not having my thoughts quite clear, and even having troubles to focus, so maybe I should just go for a walk. But maybe it's all the food that we have left over from Easter. By the way, I hope you guys had a wonderful Easter. We spent our Easter quietly and peacefully in the circle of our family, went for a walk for a couple of times, and spent a lot of time in the kitchen, even more than I was hoping for. I baked at least 4 types of, bread and cakes and everything. And I do like baking, I enjoy it very much, but when there is more than 4 hours to be spent in the kitchen every single day, then it's just too much, and I'm not being a pleasant housekeeper after I'm forced to spend that much time there. So yeah, I do like baking, but I love painting more, and I like my time to be spent differently than only in the kitchen. So Easter time is great. It's not so much as a holiday for the housekeeper, which is me in our case. And yeah, I'm gonna stop complaining about having to cook now. I also want to stay positive and tell you that I have been really more than excited. I've been positively motivated during the past week because of a few things. First of all is that during past week I gained about 6 or 7 new patrons, which is exciting for me. You guys have no idea what that means. And if you are a patron and listening to this video, you made my day, guys. You made my day. It was so great to find an email in my inbox every other day saying that I have a new patron, and I started to create so many videos that are in real time and that are more directed towards learning watercoloring skills, and created some new work in progress pictures and posts that are going to hopefully help you to become a better watercolor painter, or if you are an art enthusiast, then it's gonna help you see more into my creating process, and well, it finally starts to feel like a community, and I'm very proud of you that you listened to my last videos and joined this place where I can be connected to you a bit more closely. So I wanted to say thank you. That was very motivating for me. And it is also about the YouTube channel itself, because I just saw the analytics and we just hit 3,000 subscribers, and that's incredible for me. I know that there is so many art YouTubers that I look up to that are in much higher numbers than I am, and I did have this channel since 2012, which is incredible. It's been 8 years since I started this channel and I have 3,000 subscribers, but there has been a long period of time during which I did not publish any videos, and it's been a long time since I uploaded regularly, which is more or less during the past year or so. And so guys, I appreciate you being here and watching these videos. I appreciate every comment that you write. I try to reply to all of them, and yay, you really motivate me to create more art and create these videos. If I see that it's for someone, it is really easy for me to dedicate the time and just do something new and try to improve. So one more time, thank you. And the announcement that I wanted to do is that in my next video, since we hit such a milestone, there's gonna be a giveaway. I will going to donate probably prints. I have to think it over, but expect a giveaway in my next video, so that's a promise. And maybe you already noticed, but I'm trying to publish 2 videos a week at this time when I don't have workshops during weekends and can dedicate my time towards creating more online content. I'm also working on creating these online courses for my Slovakian customers and students that regularly visit my studio and just basically try to learn watercolor. And we have a whole community on Facebook that is very active, and it really helps that those are local people. Most of them we know each other even in person. The creation of online courses takes me a while, and it's gonna be a month before I finish the 2 courses that I'm currently working on, which is the watercolor basics, that's the first course, and the other one is flowers. But well, since it doesn't seem like we're gonna be having workshops anytime soon, I do still have time to dedicate to that. I also wanted to do at least one Skillshare class, and I've been stuck up on that for such a while. I feel like I can't explain myself properly when I try to do the class for Skillshare, and I've been wanting to publish one for over a year. So guys, wish me luck. Hopefully I'm gonna do something useful up there. There's just so much great content already there, and so I struggle with it. I don't want to feel like it's redundant, whatever I create. I've been also taking some classes myself, mostly about the online marketing and social media, which is something that I already have done a lot of research into, mostly about Instagram, which is always something that interests me because I've been stuck on Instagram for a while in about the same amount of followers, and it's not moving anywhere. But it's my own fault because I don't post regularly enough. The troubles that I have is the posting time, because the optimal posting time for me that is being shown to me by the statistics of Instagram is the time when I'm completely tired, and it's just I have to find a very good and reliable scheduler so that I don't have to worry about that every single day. Like, oh my God, I have to post something. I just need to have it scheduled and not worry about that every single evening, because if I do it manually, I do it once or twice and then I just don't. And then I get quiet for 2 months. Well, social media definitely like consistency, and I am not very consistent. I am consistent with creating, but not with uploading, and from time to time I just get social media shyness and I hide myself for 2 months, and that's social media suicide, as they say in every single marketing class that I've taken so far. So why am I doing that? Okay, so this painting is definitely a highlight of today, because now it's almost evening and I'm just overly tired. I just can't wait to go and rest for a bit after I finish the video. And I do really hope that you enjoyed the process and spent the painting session with me doing something creative. I used watercolor and white gouache for this painting. In the end, I thought I'm gonna do a completely mixed media painting and finish with colored pencils, but then I didn't felt like the painting really needed it, and so in the end it was just watercolor and gouache. And while I tried to avoid using any kind of opaque white in my last watercolor painting session, when I did the girl with the face mask, in this painting I did the exact opposite and I overused the white opaque paint. In this case it was white gouache, and I put it everywhere. It's just everywhere. I wanted to see the limits and what it will look like when I do all those little details. And it was a lot of fun, but maybe next time I'm just gonna go somewhere in the middle and not use as many highlights as I did in this particular painting, and I'll see. It just requires a bit more getting used to and experimenting. But I did enjoy the final watercolor layer that I did. It was very abstract. It was just a couple of splatters, and I did use the pastel-y watercolors like lavender and mixed it with a bit of a lilac paint and just sprinkled some white gouache on top of that, and it was a very slippery slope because it could have ruined the whole painting, but I think it made it much more interesting in the end. I named the painting April just because I got the feeling that it represents how I see the April weather here in the center of Europe. We even had a bit of snow a couple of days ago, and then there was a storm, and then there was very sunny and warm weather. So in April in here the weather is very changeable, and that's how my watercolor textures feel like in the end when I look at this painting. Let me know if you enjoyed my process, and this painting is now looking for its new owner. I put the link to purchase it in the description of this video. I'm going to ask my patrons if they would like to see a real-time video of this painting as well. And my Patreon is currently only $1 per month to give you access to my real-time videos and other content that I've previously published. So if you were thinking about getting something extra and some extra painting sessions, for example, then you know where to find them. I will put the link in the description of this video. And with that, I am saying goodbye for now, and look for my giveaway video on Sunday hopefully, and I will see you very soon. So take care of yourself, stay safe, and bye bye.